Good morning, everyone. Oh my God, look at my cow neck. I don't know what this is. Anyway, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, and Lesley and I are here to talk about our thoughts for today. And one of the things, we are in the middle of our launch for another group for our Profit Insiders for interior designers. And when Lesley and I really talk about what is the biggest impact we make on people, and obviously you can go read all the testimonials. One of the biggest impacts we make is helping people not sabotage themselves, which is really something we see all the time. So do you feel like, Lesley, that's the number one obstacle to success?
Absolutely. I see sometimes there's designers in the group that maybe they're resistant to new ideas or changing things. They come in with a problem and we offer one approach to improve things. And there's kind of this like, well, that won't work because of XYZ. And there's so many things that happen internally in us where we might not even realize it. That's the thing. A lot of this is very subconscious when you're sort of blocking yourself or being your own obstacle to success, is that you get in your own way. And even if something has the potential to improve things for your business, it can be hard to actually have the courage to do the weird, uncomfortable thing
Yeah.
or just do it differently than how you've done it to this point. I do think, I mean, the mindset game is the biggest thing in this business.
Oh my God. And it's my favorite thing to move people along, right? Because you hear it on the business helpline when people ask us questions when they're struggling, and in the moment they're able to leave us a message that day, that moment, while they're walking into a client or walking out of a client or walking into a showroom or a consult. They get nervous. They message us. We can answer usually before they even have the moment and calm them down. But I love I'll say, okay, so tell your client this. Well, what if they say this? And what if they say that? And what if, right? This is why I put in the thing. Stop what ifing. Okay. Your number one obstacle to your own success is fighting through your fear, fighting through your mindset, being okay to make decisions that may not be perfect, because there's really never a decision that's perfect.
No, and you're always, I shouldn't say always, but you're often going to let somebody down, whether it's you by people pleasing and doing what other people want, or it's a client or potential client by delivering some sort of news. Maybe it's a boundary that you have in place. No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Smith, I don't take meetings after 5 p.m. How's next Tuesday at 1? Well, I can only meet on evenings and weekends. These are the kind of
Yes.
things that we can sort of self-sabotage by going, outside of what our boundaries are. One topic that's come up recently in a few of our Profit Insiders groups is this idea of building a pipeline. And every designer wants a pipeline and a full pipeline. Having a pipeline means saying no to people and putting.
Right. I loved your explanation, though. Tell them the full, like, having a pipeline means what? Because it was beautifully said.
It means you have to be honest with people and with yourself and your schedule and your capability and say, Mrs. Smith, I would absolutely love to work with you on this project. We have availability starting in 6 weeks. That is scary. And I think a lot of us, one of the obstacles is we don't want to tell people no. We don't want to tell people to wait. What if they don't stay? What if they go find another designer? This is the kind of stuff that gets you to the next level, but it is scary. And I see designers all the time getting in their own way by taking on too much or handling it in a way that makes it kind of, the client loses confidence. It is okay to step into that and just say, in order to give your project my full and complete attention, which is how we run this business, we're available to start your project, 3 months from now. And here's what the timeline will look like. But all this mindset stuff, all this what if they say no? What if they don't? Then they
And
say
what if they
no.
say, and I always respond the same way. What if they say yes? Right? You're not going to know unless you try it. But I will guarantee you, if you take on that client when you know in your gut that you are already buried, overwhelmed, crying every night, not sleeping, but you need the money, so you're going to take another client. I always go, you know what? Then it's time to raise your rates.
Yeah. Or hire help or both.
Or hire help or both, right? Because if you want to take on more clients, you need to have that bandwidth, or you need to raise your prices so you don't have as many clients and you can still serve at that highest level. Yeah. Interior design is a luxury service, right? It's luxury service. A lot of us are A lot of people in the interior design world have different demographics that they go after, and that's all good. I have no problem with you want to be the designer for everyone. Okay, but you got to make sure you're profitable. Otherwise, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
It sounds great. I want to make design accessible to everyone. I can't tell you over the 7, 8 years I've been doing this, how many designers came to me with that sentence, but I just want to make design accessible to everyone. I get it. I want to make coaching accessible to everyone. So what do? I have a Facebook group, the Interior Design Business Forum of 9,000 interior design professionals, and I put out a certain amount of free content. So the interior designers can do the same thing. You do it. You put out blogs, you put it out on your Instagram, your Facebook. That's your free content. That's making design advice accessible to everyone, right?
Yes.
But when they want to take it another level, make it happen faster, better, without mistakes. Exactly. They need those connections that you have. They hire a designer. Now you're not making, you made it accessible to everyone who may need you. But when you get to that person, you want to make sure you're priced right. And if you're not, then you're the one holding yourself back.
Absolutely.
Right. So we said in the description here that the number one obstacle to success is yourself. Right. And it's hard to constantly be putting in good content, not listening to things that are going to get you confused, not listening to too much that you can't implement, right? And so many other things. I think one of the biggest problems people have is they're listening to too many people. It's a lot of information in this industry. And I get it. I'm in the coaching world. I could be listening to hundreds of coaches simultaneously. And I stopped doing that years ago because I couldn't focus on myself with all this noise of I should be, that person's doing this, that person's doing that. Maybe I should be doing that. No, I should do. And suddenly you're just all locked up.
Yep. I find that when I pay too much attention to what other designers are doing, I feel worse and worse about myself and my business and my vision and my creativity. It's like, well, so-and-so's doing this and they're so successful. And like, you end up just completely undermining you and your vision and what you do. And I have found in terms of like the design side, I kind of have to put blinders on and just say, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is my style. This is what I like. And I can't spend too much time looking sideways because it completely derails me. And it's the same thing with coaching. There's so much great free stuff. I'm a podcast junkie. Like I give it all to me, but I know I've gotten better over the years at discerning like what is for me, what am I going to adapt and what am I going to leave? Like it's okay to take some and leave the rest.
Yes.
But especially when you're newer or there's things you're really unclear on, you can find any advice out. Like if you're on one topic, you're going to find someone that says this and in the middle and over here. And you're like, well, which one is it?
Absolutely.
There's not usually a right answer. This is not a regulated industry. This is one where we get to choose how we do things and who we work with and what we charge. And so you're right. It's very easy to what if and like, well, this person's doing it this way. What if I tried this or does this work? And you end up making yourself crazy. It just doesn't work.
You do. And you know what? That's, this self-sabotage is something that has to stop, right? So I'm asking everyone, quit self-sabotaging yourself, because if you know that you're listening to too many people and you're trying to implement too much and it's locking you up, here's one thing you can do. Unfollow some people. I don't even care if it's me. I'm not trying to say only follow me. If I'm not your cup of tea as a coach, then that's okay. You go to someone who you can follow and not let all the noise in. Yeah. And then the second thing is getting over the fear of making decisions to support yourself by learning and growing your business in the right way, right? This self-sabotage and this fear of moving forward and making decisions that could be, I just spent a fortune on a coach, but I know that I'll be damned if I lose a penny and don't make it back, because that's what I try to teach everyone who coaches with us, right? Get what you can out of us for the money you're paying so that you grow your business and the lessons you learn last a lifetime. And it's really being proved over and over again in these groups.
Yeah, it is. It's fun watching the successes and the wins and people that are just like, oh, this is working. Like it's the business.
I know. I love when they get surprised. And those were the naysayers, a lot of them, right? Yeah. They came in like this. I don't think this is going to work for me. I don't think I can raise my prices. I don't think I can change my service models. And it's scary. I'm like, trust me, please just do what I'm asking you to do. If you do what I'm asking you to do, you're going to make more money. You are going to be more profitable. You will start attracting more of your ideal client. These changes are going to start happening, but it's up to you to stop self-sabotaging and walk through the fear, which is what I say. Walk through the fear, ignore the fear. Acknowledge it. I hear you. I'm scared. I hear you. Okay, I'm going to ignore you, because when you're your most scared is when you're going to make your biggest progress.
I love it. It's so true. And there's, I think there's this false idea that you shouldn't be scared, or if you are scared, something is wrong. The biggest successes are when you feel the fear. I can't remember who this quote is, but feel the fear and do it anyway. I mean,
Yes.
that's how you get to that next level. You might have a million reasons why things are the way they are and why that won't work for me or why that works for some, and you're like, just shut up and try it. Just see what happens. Look at it as an experiment. It doesn't have to be forever, but try this one switch. Try this thing. See if it gives you a better result. See if it gives you a better experience. See if it just helps you feel better about
Yes.
your business. And that alone can give you that momentum, that courage, that excitement to keep going forward. And then the scary things are still scary. I had
Yes.
a design proposal the other day where I plugged the numbers into the key, our pricing tool for designers. It was a big A number. And I had this moment of like, well, it's already that big. I should just bump it up a little bit higher to make it a round number.
Yes.
I had this like, what would Nancy do moment? I was like, she would tell me to do it. And I did it and they didn't even blink. And I was like, oh my goodness. That was really scary. I was afraid that $800 difference was going to be the reason I didn't get the job, or it was, they were just looking at it like, yeah, that sounds good. I was like, okay, excellent. Whew, now I know. Now I
It's
know what to do
fantastic.
there.
There's a message on the business helpline that you probably haven't heard yet, and I won't say who it's from, but it made me chuckle. It was a designer who was nervous about sending a $3,500 invoice to a couple whose husband was starting to push back a little bit on
Mhm.
pricing, right? And this was another level of the job. And he wrote back, well, how many hours does this represent? And I advised her through the helpline to just say it's a flat design fee based on the deliverables. And the deliverables are as follows.
Mhm.
He wrote back as, oh, I thought it was 3,500 an hour. And I was trying to figure out how many hours it was going to take. And I was like, oh my God, this guy thought you could charge 3,500 an hour.
I want that client.
Yeah. And I think we should raise your prices is what I was laughing about, So anyway, the bottom line is there are people out there that are willing to pay for the luxury service of your talent and your expertise and your knowledge and your years of experience, if you are experienced. And it's finding them. That's the key. And finding them is sometimes by stopping self-sabotaging yourself, knowing the things that will work you're not doing, and fighting through the fear and ignoring the fear and getting it done. So sometimes people need accountability partners. Sometimes they need coaches like you and I, and the Profit Insiders group coaching program registration is open now. We've already got, I think I got 2 more overnight. I think we have 14 or 15 applications. Not everyone who applies can get in because I want to make sure it's the right fit for you and that you are ready to grow your business, because that will happen. So if you're interested in the Profit Insider group coaching program that Lesley and I are running starting February 15th, it's I don't know how many groups I've run so far. This is my 8th or 9th group.
8th. Yeah, this will be the
8th. 8th. We do it based on the alphabet. That's how Lesley was able to figure it out so fast. So the next group is called the Hot Shots, which is H. And we're excited to start letting people in and start coaching people. One of the people got access to my membership site live Q&A and showed up yesterday. So I was really excited to see her, and she cannot wait to get started because she's already in the group. It's exciting. Let's make 2023 exciting for everyone. What do you say when you see the people graduate from Profit Insiders?
I mean, I cry a little bit. It's really sad to see them go because over that year, we meet twice a month. So we really build a relationship. We know each other's businesses. We know each other's struggles and wins, which is one of the best parts.
Yes.
But I mean, it is incredible to see the transformation. Like people that started, like you mentioned earlier, sometimes people come a little bit with their heels dug in. Like, I don't think this is going to work for me, but I'll give it a try. And by the end of the year, there's just like a lightness and a joy and a quiet confidence. Like they're not
Yes.
a different person. they're just self-assured in a way that it makes me emotional thinking about it, because it's such a powerful transformation, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's over the course of the year. It's every little baby step, every choice, every moment of pushing through the fear. But you look back to where they started, and it is night and day, like profitability, confidence, their energy, their excitement. I know we have designers that there's times throughout the year where they've kind of lost their passion.
Yes, they get sad. They don't think they want to go back to full-time work. This is too
Yeah.
hard. And I'm always like, give it a chance. Think about going back 9 to 5, getting dressed in business clothes, having to get out of the house, dressed around other people, having expectations, only having 2 to 4 weeks vacation, and all the stuff you juggle in your personal life. Isn't it better to have your own business if you can?
Yeah.
Right?
And it usually just, and that's, I think, such incredible value of having a coach and an accountability community, because all these designers become close. They're all rooting each other on. They're all, sometimes they connect individually, and it's a really cool community that's built in each of these cohorts. And so, yeah, there's moments where designers have that, like we've seen that a few times, and there's a real bounce back that wouldn't happen without that accountability, that community, that encouragement, that guidance of what to do next. And it is so, I mean, I'm thinking of one person in particular where just he went from, I don't know if I can do this, that I want to change my business, to all of a sudden everything clicked. And it
Yes.
was like he is on, like he's illuminated, like he is just.
Oh, that's funny. I know who you're talking about now, but I was actually thinking of a different one, and it was a woman who was in our group.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. Yeah, there's a couple that have come to mind. But
there's just so many great stories is the bottom line. And you gave me goosebumps too when you were saying, because I hit the mindset part a lot, right? That's one of my superpowers: marketing, sales, mindset, confidence, communication. But bringing you into this program as well has been an incredible asset, because now when they actually have interior design specific questions, they actually have you to ask that as well.
yeah, I'm still in the trenches with them. I'm still running a full service design firm as well. So I'm walking the talk. I'm making all the mistakes. I'm learning all the things.
And I'm trying to correct them.
I know, it's very helpful to have you in my corner. Yeah, I think that, and thank you for saying that. I think that is a great advantage to it, because you've always had the mindset, the business back, like you've got the great systems, procedures, mindset, and I'm able to do the, design software, technical questions. There's other things that I think together it just makes this program even stronger. And it's been so amazing to hear that feedback too from people in the group. So
Yeah, they
I'm
love having you there. It's added a whole nother dynamic. I think together I have guts of a certain type, you have guts of a certain type, and together we can really train people on getting that confident to take a chance, do something different, and let us prove to you that it's going to work. Right? Let us prove to you it's going to work. So, okay. So we hope if you are struggling with your interior design, profitability, mindset, hating your life right now, we want to bring you back to profitability, joy, understanding what your next steps are. When do you hire? When do you fire? How do you do both those things? Setting up your business structure, whether you want to be just a solopreneur, which I shouldn't say just, because that is probably the hardest thing to do, is to be alone and running this business. Or if you want to build to something bigger, we have everyone in between also, right? And it is a phenomenal group. So join the Profit Insiders for Interior Designers. The latest group is going to be called the Hot Shots. And I would like all of you who are struggling to become a hot shot. If it's right for you, I will let you know. If it's wrong for you, I will let you know and not take you into the group. But there is no obligation to fill out the application and get 20 minutes on my calendar so we can go over your application and figure out if this is the right next step for your investment in yourself. Because that's really what you're doing. Since you are the biggest obstacle to your own success, it's really an investment in you if you come into the program. So anything else I missed, Lesley?
No, I'm excited. I cannot wait to meet this new group and kick things off, because this is only the second group that I will have been involved in from the first session. And I cannot wait to see, after a year, like a year from now, looking back, you won't, like, you can't even imagine how different things are going to be in a year with the power of this group and this community. So I'm just excited to see who's taking the next step and joining us and ready to do this, because it's scary and it's going to take pushing through fear, but the transformation.
Even for us, because we feel responsible for when we take people into the program. We work our asses off to make sure that you guys who are in our programs and in my coaching world are successful. So don't give up this opportunity. All right. Let's let them get on to their work day. And if you're watching on replay and you need us, please message any questions you have about the program underneath this and tag me or Lesley, or just email info@nancyganzakoffer.com and all your questions will be answered. But click the link first because it gives you a lot of information and will probably answer your questions. So, all right, Lesley, I will see you next week.
Bye, everyone. Thanks,
Bye,
Nancy.
everyone. Have a great day.